If the rumors about recruiters and hiring managers only reviewing resumes for a few seconds each, if those are true, then yes, I definitely believe that you need to have a one-page resume. And in regards to a lot of resumes that I see, many of them look like the person just copy and pasted their job description right into the body of their resume. While that does show an overview of what you can do, what's really important is showing measurable accomplishments, any type of metrics, anything that you can show that you can stand out from the rest of the resumes is definitely a good way to go. And really what should look like is less like a job description, more like your own personal highlight reel. The best way to do that is really just to cut the fluff. I always think of tidying up with Marie Kondo. What sparks joy? And what would spark joy in the minds of a hiring manager? What do they want to see? Well, they want to see that not only can you do the job, but you can excel in the position. And I think showing measurable accomplishments and metrics is really going to make you stand out from the other applicants that just, again, copy and pasted the job description to the body of the resume. That is a very good question, and one that I get asked a lot, because it seems like no matter how many times you send out a resume, sometimes it can be very hard to hear back from people. And the truth is that, oftentimes there's a lot of people, talking hundreds of people that may be applying for the same job. So it's really important to get your resume to stick out to those recruiters and hiring managers. And for me as a recruiter, when I'm searching for somebody, I'm going to be taking the position description and breaking it down into specific keywords that I'll find on a resume or a LinkedIn profile. So I think what you need to make sure is that you have keywords that are industry term specific, any type of business associations that you're in. Acronyms are great. I also think it's very important to spell out those acronyms. Not everyone is as familiar as you are with the industry, but anything ranging from the technology that you've used, how you measure your metrics, anything like that is important that can really identify the specific industry or position that you're looking for. There are resume optimization tools and certain websites where you can upload your resume and upload the position description. And they'll actually grade it by how many keywords are found based on your resume, and then the position description, and give you recommendations on how to improve your resume to increase visualization. Many organizations will actually have tools that will scan resumes and grade them individually. And if you don't meet a certain grade, your resume is getting kicked to the trash can, and the other ones are making it through. So tools like this are really helpful to kind of make sure that your resume can get more visibility. And once you have your resume in front of them, kind of a neat little tip is to highlight, I wouldn't go yellow highlight, but you can bold, underline, or italicize certain metrics or measurable accomplishments that you want to make sure that the human resources or hiring manager sees. Anything that draws their eye is going to grab their attention. So again, underlining, italicizing, or even bolding certain key metrics to make sure someone sees them is a good way to get someone's eyes directly where you want them to see. All right, there are a number of ways which you can take your resume to the next level. And first one may seem pretty obvious, but it is making regular updates to your resume. Especially as accomplishments are fresh in your mind, it's easier to jot things down and especially make them more accurate. Now, I am totally about approximations when it comes to metrics, but obviously if you can capture them as you completed them, it's just going to make your resume look more accurate. And also, too, no one likes to have to scramble and make updates to the resume and look back and try to dig up all these old metrics, especially if you find yourself without a job. So keeping your resume current, updating it quarterly, or at the very least annually, when you're doing your annual reviews with your hiring manager, with your direct report, it's a really good time to grab those metrics and jot them down on your resume. The next one is use a thesaurus. I've seen dynamic being used on so many resumes. Just put that into Google, put into a thesaurus, and look on some variances of different words. It's definitely going to make you look much more intellectual if you can throw in a couple words other than strong or innovative or one of the long list of cliche descriptive adjectives that people use for their resumes. So try to find something a little bit unique and something that maybe fits your personality a little bit too. And I'm always a big fan of editing for consistency. At the end of your bullet points, they have periods or they open-ended. Is your font consistent all the way through? How are your margins? Little things like this. I see typos all the time, and really just making sure and keeping a close eye on things not only shows that you can be a meticulous person and proofread. I think it goes a long way, and really it looks way worse on a person when they find typos in their resumes or in thank you notes or anything else like that. So send it off to somebody else if you need someone to proofread it. I mean, if you see the red squiggly mark, it means the word's spelled wrong. So try to fix that. But take a fine-tooth comb and go through your resume and make sure everything's pretty consistent. And a little bonus tip for everybody: grab some references. If you know some people you work with or a past manager, get those set up and ready. Again, it's not something that you really need to go scrambling for later. So if you can get some good people on your side and kind of in your back pocket, it'll just help for later on, even if you don't need it. But just in case you do, those are some good tips to help elevate your resume.